Hello students, welcome back to the English class of Standard 9 for Basava Residential Girls School. This is the second part of the lesson, the best advice I ever had. Okay, as we have already seen, it is written by Mrs. Vijayalakshmi Pandit. So we saw in the last class that Mrs. Vijayalakshmi Pandit was having a very sorrowful time when she realized that after her husband's death she will not be getting any property because her husband had died, and at that time she being a woman, she would not be able to inherit a property because she didn't even have a son. She had only two daughters. Okay, so she was very bitter towards her in-laws for following that rule and not giving her any property. So who advised her? Who gave her some advice? It was Mahatma Gandhi. So now we will continue. She gives us three incidents. Okay, the first one is her making peace with her in-laws. Now we will see the second incident. This small gesture, that is the previous one which we saw about her making peace with her in-laws, reduced her burden in the heart. So this small gesture was the beginning of a significant change in me. A year and a half later, I was in New York as a leader of the Indian delegation to the United Nations. Important to us was India's complaint regarding the treatment of people of Indian origin in South Africa. Harsh things were said by both sides. I resented the manner in which my opponents made personal attacks harmful to India's prestige and mine. So where have they gone? They have gone to New York. She is the leader of the delegation, that means a group of people who have gone to America, to New York, to the United Nations. For United Nations, now they have to argue for something. What is that? The people in South Africa, one group of people they are the citizens of South Africa, but they are of Indian origin. Like how there are some people who move from India to US and after many years they will become Americans, but they are of Americans of Indian origin because their forefathers belong to India. The same way there are people in South Africa also, but what is happening to them? They are being ill treated. They are not being treated well. So to fight for them, to argue on their behalf, this Indian delegation has gone. Okay, but what is happening there? Harsh things are being said. They are arguing, but they are using very harsh remarks against each other. They are using very bad words. Okay, to her country and to her. So she's feeling very bad again. She doesn't know what to do. I struck back with the same sharp weapon. So what is she doing? They are also shouting. She is also shouting back. Then, after a distressing duel of words, I suddenly thought of Gandhiji. Would he approve? To him, means were as important as the end. In the long run, perhaps more important. What if we succeeded in getting our resolution passed by questionable tactics that injured our self-respect? So suddenly she is realizing about, she is thinking about Gandhiji. She realized that because the opponents are also shouting, she is also using the same sharp weapon. That means same words. If they are using bad they are using bad remarks to attack her and her group of delegates, even they are doing the same thing. Now she is realizing, oh, what would Gandhiji do? Means methods. End means the final result. So what some people say, final result is important. The method with which we get to the final result is not important. But to Gandhiji, means were as important as the end. That means the method with which you use to go to the end, to the result, is also important. That means the method you use, the words you use, that is also equally important, perhaps more important. Then she realized, oh my god, I am using questionable tactics. Questionable means which we have to think over, which is something bad. That tactics I am using, that injured us, our self-respect. It is affecting our self-respect, because is it good to use harmful bad words against each other? No, it is not good, right? So suddenly she is realizing her mistake. Then, before going to bed that night, I resolved that come what might, no word of mine would be lightly used in the UN. From then on, I lifted the debate back to where it belonged, refusing to retaliate to personal attacks or to score a cheap point. Our opponents met us on the new level, and from then we argued the case on its merits. So now, what did she decide? I will not use cheap tactics. If I have to win this argument, I will use a better argument. My arguments will be based on proper points. I will argue the case in a right way. Okay. Now, because she started becoming, lifting the debate back, that means she is raising the dignity of that debate. So, what did her opponents do? They also came to her level. If we raise our goodness, what will happen to the others? They also have to follow us. We should not stoop, or we should not go below the opponent's level, even though we know it is bad. So we have to have a personal dignity. Okay. So now she is realizing even the opponents are coming and arguing according to its merits, not just to win the case. Before leaving the committee room on the last day, I went up and spoke to the leader of the opposing delegation. So what's happening now? She's going and speaking to those opponent leader. Then she said, I have come to ask you to forgive me if I have hurt you by any word or action in this debate. He shook my hand warmly and said, I have no complaint. It was good to feel right with him, but even better to feel right with myself. Once more, Gandhiji's advice had saved me from myself. So she's telling, she went to that person because whether they used whether they felt bad for using these very harsh words or not, she wants to apologize. So she went to him and said, I'm sorry if I have hurt you in any way. What did that opposition leader say? I have no complaint. That means it's okay. I don't have anything against you. So now she's telling, it was good to feel right with him. That means it is good to realize that he didn't have any complaint against me. He didn't feel bad about me. It feels good. But even better to feel right with myself. Now because her own conscience, she is feeling good, that she has not hurt anybody unnecessarily. Now she is telling once more. So now this is the second time Gandhiji's advice has saved me from myself. So she is always having this battle with herself. So anywhere she goes wrong, she is changing herself. Okay. Now this is the end of the second part. Okay. Now I will see you in the final part. All right. Have a great day. Bye bye.